Hi everyone, welcome back to the guide file. TJ Dagger here. In the last couple of videos we were focused on the front section. Since then I've come in here and I've done a bit more extending to the map. There is a video which shows quite a bit of this back section here being built. It just basically has some music playing and it's like 4.5 times the normal speed, something like that. It's about 2 hours video compressed into about a half hour or so, or just under 25-26 minutes, something like that. There's actually probably about, in total here, to bring this up to from where it was previously to extending the map now, there was about 3.5 hours map building work went into sorting out this area, and there's still more to do. But what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at where the mission's at. I've also had a little play with that, and we'll have a look and I'll talk about what's happened since last time we did some mission editing. So you can see here what I've done is I've added a bunch of stuff. I've put flags, one there, and added another one here, and I've simply gone into, this is our I've added a third flag. We already had a second one, but I've positioned it over here. I've also made sure I've got the zones positioned with it. I've added zones using the same format for flag number 3. I've then gone through and simply copied our existing format that we've used and just made sure everything's in line there for number 3 flag. So added a flag. I've also added, basically in one of the previous videos we talked about a little bit of random stuff with our pack guns by putting multiple ones down but only choosing to have a set number of them. I've done the same thing here so that when our conditions for our first half are met, which is capture the flag and either capture or destroy the pack guns, the back opened up. So that was all in a previous one. So what I've done is similar to what we did on with our start packs, where we had them hidden and we chose 2. I've placed pack guns. I've done a similar, this is in Clipsy, I've done a second pack thing for them as well, where we choose them. Done the same for, placed a whole bunch of infantry down and as defenders, where only a set amount of those are chosen. So done the same thing with pack guns, infantry, these artillery pieces here, as well as machine guns. So basically the way it stands is once the mission opens up the back section, when we've completed the first 2 conditions or first 2 objectives, then the back opens up and it spawns in a layout of a random layout of all these units. Not all of them that you can see, but it selects however many we've set the settings at. And that's basically where the mission is currently at. Currently we have some German reinforcements who are spawning at this position here. We'll just move them around now that our map's a bit more filled out. We can even have them just head up and join up there for the sake of it. So these are our reinforcements who happen at the start. So basically once our map opens up, we no longer want them spawning there and coming from that point. So if we look at, where are they? They are the reinforcements. Let's play, here we go, enemy reinforcements in here. So these are these guys in G-Elites. So they spawn at waypoint 0, which is this one here. So when, as I said earlier in a previous video, we're going to reuse these guys. And what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to create a situation where once the map opens up, they no longer spawn at position O, but instead we're going to make a new path and have them somewhere back here following. Fan out will also increase how many there are that come in, and we'll go through how to set that up. We'll get started on that. So we'll just find our German reinforcements and we'll start adding another path here where I might start fanning them out. Yeah, we've got 2 spots there we can go. So just zoom out and have a look at that. Alright, so there's our waypoint path. We're going to make it so they spawn here at, what do we got there, number 46. And they'll fan out, follow these lines, just like they do when they start from 0 there and fan out to these positions. So, let's look at the script. So where are we? These are the enemy reinforcements. Okay, so what it does currently, it looks at the limit. If the amount on the field is already less than the limit, it spawns out another group of them. So what I want to do is I want to change the way this is happening right here, and I want to introduce a function. Now functions are basically a list of commands, and unlike a trigger, they don't have a set of conditions associated to them. Instead, the way you use a function is you call one. So we're going to go through that. To add a function, you press F9, and in your mission properties box, functions. So we're going to add one here, just by right clicking add, and because keep things consistent, I'm going to call it the G Elites, and I'm going to OK that, and then up in here I can double click on that, opens up another box, and this box in here basically is going to be all the commands that are going to be fired for that function. So it's the equivalent of this here, our commands, but we have a much bigger area to use. As you can see, this can fill up pretty quick and get pretty confusing. So you can actually add a function. I'll show you how to call one first. Here we go. So there's in generic here is call, and the function name is G-Elites, and basically we are going to call the function. So what's going to happen is the function will fire, and I'm going to turn this off for now. So what will happen is, instead of triggering this, which is the waypoint command which spawns in our other guys, it's going to call this function. And what will happen then is that function will simply fire, and we will work out what's going to happen in here now. So first up, we've got to add our waypoint for the first one. So we've got to come up with basically a situation that looks at whether or not we're at the first stage of the map, where we're still got to capture that first flag, or whether we're going to be at the second part where the second bit's opened up. So there's a couple of ways I could go about doing that, I guess we should look to our existing feature, which is when our clips open up. Okay, one of the conditions for our clips to open up are these tasks. So we've got flag 1 needs to be complete, so what we should possibly do here is add an event. Okay. So I can go in here and I can add an event which we will call second, which is the second clip. Second clip open. That way I know what it's all about. So when the second clip's open. So I've added that to when the actual second clip, when the conditions are met, this will fire, opens up the second clip. This event will now be set to an on position. Alright, so we'll use that as a reference point in our function. Okay, I think we'll add a case, not a case, a switch. There we go, case and default. Actually, we might make the default, which we don't set any conditions from. So basically a default will fire if none of the other conditions are met. At least that's how I understand it. So what we want is, as our default, we want that original cloning at waypoint O, safe teleport and rotate. We'll make this advanced, which, oh no, I didn't wipe it out. The group with the tag G-Elites, we're going to include the tag hidden at O, yep, okay. And I will add a case in there, and the case will be that event work if the event second clip open is on. We will OK that, and we will add inside another waypoint. This time it'll be waypoint clone, it'll be waypoint 46. Same thing, self teleport and rotate, safe. Change that to advanced. We want the group with the tag G-Elites, include the tag hidden. Make sure we did that right in the other one. Yep, tag hidden. Okay. So if we fire this, save that and press start, we should get them. We should get them starting here as the default. There they come in now. I wonder why they stopped. That seems interesting. What you boys doing? I see. Looks like this point needs to be just inside. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to have to watch that with our other clip up the back as well. So we really want them coming into that first point just inside that dotted line. Either that'll move our first clip back a bit. Finish that up. Let's check. Fix that up. lines. There's no reason we can't make this go right to the show the creek. This line needs to be back there. There we go. Quick check of that. Alright, so they're doing their thing. Very good. Now, to test whether our back bit works, we could either play it and try and complete the objectives, or we could just go into the script itself. Now for the second clip to open, which is how we want to check that they're coming from that back position, we can go into the script here where it says these two tasks need to be complete. I could either delete them, which I don't want to do because I'd have to put them back in, because you can't actually turn off conditions. You can turn off commands, but you can't turn off conditions. What's probably easier is we go into our tasks, which are these two tasks here. This is where they're written in, mission tasks, and we can simply set them to the complete state from the beginning. And that'll open up that next clip. So what we should do though is check where the second clip goes to, which is there. Okay, just looking at, it's probably a good idea to move this one, which is from the start clip, back here as well. Encompass the whole thing. Or maybe that's not so necessary. The purple line is anything outside the purple line doesn't get affected. So yeah, we probably want that there. Okay. Test that. Okay, so the back's opened up and there they are coming from the back. Right, they're only walking because we are missing an actor state. Okay, so we'll put on there, we'll add an actor state. It's going to do the waypoint, whoever arrives there, which is all our guys, and we're simply going to put them on assault speed, which means they move faster. We want them to have their weapon prepare on. We want to we might disable the AI move but enable it upon enemy. So that means they're going to keep running forward until they spot an enemy. Yeah, okay, so that's what that'll do. Now of course they're going to be under AI control, which they probably already set to that. They're going to be open fire. They're going to be free movement. Yeah, and that's all we have to do there. Save that, press start, give it a look. And there they go. Speed that up. And what we might do, quick finish that. We also talked about making it so there's more of them, so quick show you how to do that, because that's real easy. In our initial startup, we set some variables and we set them to, here we set the G elites limit to equal 6. So what we're going to do is, where the clip changes on the second, we're going to add in there under generic, it's this set I. Find the G elites limit, And for the purpose of this, just to have a look, see how they run down there, I'm going to make that 100, which is just going to keep pumping out 100. So by putting it in there, obviously I'll change that to a lower value at some point, but just to do a test.
Oh Mann.
And they will just
Damit habe ich
go
nicht
down
gerechnet.
there like crazy. Start
Komisch.
parking
Warum
everywhere.
hat uns niemand etwas gesagt?
So there you go, it's pumped out 100 already. We could put at the end of these waypoints, we could put on there a
Komisch. Davon hat uns niemand
act as a
etwas
cover,
gesagt.
which just, we could leave that at, there's different options there, random, density, best.
Damit habe ich nicht gerechnet. Oh Mann. Sehr
So we
verdächtig.
could,
Sehr verdächtig.
we could set those different points, just set it to 1 and copy and paste if you want, but
Damit habe ich
whatever,
nicht gerechnet.
whatever works.
Erstaunlich.
Probably best if they do go into some sort of cover. So anyway, quick review. What we basically did in this video was we created a function. We added that and did the conditions for it, or the commands. We created an event as well when the map opens up. We learned how to call that function, whatever it was, in enemy reinforcements,
Davon hat uns niemand etwas gesagt.
with the call command,
Oh Mann.
and we extended some waypoints, and we reset things to match the new thing,
Oh
the
Mann.
new opening section.
Erstaunlich. Damit habe ich nicht gerechnet.
Okay, cheers.